Good afternoon, Justin. You okay with Justin?
Yeah, no, that's my name, so.
Called the Feral Koala.
That's it.
Or is it cat? Or kangaroo?
Oh, no. You know, it's funny because my favourite animal actually is the kangaroo.
Right.
And
but you want me... Cool. Let's just kind of, before we even do any introduction, because, you know, spur of the moment. So online, you are the Feral Koala.
Correct.
Why? Why is your...
It's a good question, one that I haven't found an answer to yet.
Okay. Okay.
No, it was... Koalas are cute and cuddly, and they're a little bit overweight. And I looked at myself and I thought, you know, I'm cute, I'm cuddly, I'm overweight, but I can be a little bit controversial and feral at times. And it just
links up nicely.
It just came out one day like, you know what, the Feral Koala.
Okay.
And run with it ever since.
Well, I better make a proper introduction then. So welcome to Emeka Conversations. This is episode 2 of Emeka Conversations.
Thank you for having me.
And here with me is my guest, Justin. I found him online, literally.
Yeah.
I was scrolling through TikTok and I wasn't really. I actually just got a notification that says, here's somebody on your TikTok who might be as unappreciated for their controversial ideas as you are. So I clicked on it. I found this guy, a 50-year-old white Australian who has a lot to say about the dangerous things that are happening within our community. Dangerous?
Well, they're only dangerous to people that disagree.
Yeah, this is true. So anyway, I thought, I better get this guy on to chat. So I had a look. I started looking through some of your videos on TikTok.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, no, don't apologize. I was entertained. So if you are trying to figure out who he is, go on TikTok. I think that's the only platform.
I got YouTube as well. I don't have much of a presence because I'm really... As of right now, just predominantly on TikTok. If it grows, then... Except
for the times when people download your videos and then upload them on Facebook.
And get shared 365,000 times and I didn't even know about it. So.
Yeah, cool. So this guy has, I don't know, hundreds, millions of views specifically really on TikTok because Justin, the Feral Koala, has some views on things that I share. Very, very similar opinions on. And I was really fascinated. Really, I was looking for somebody to have the conversation with me around some of the, matters that surround our world currently, specifically in Australia. Things that, let's face it, everybody's thinking it, but no one really wants to say it because we're too afraid about what might happen, what may or may not happen if we say it too loud.
Yeah, I was driving out of Maryborough a couple of years ago, and I don't know if you're familiar with the Bruce Highway.
Yeah.
But there's a big billboard there, and it's a huge billboard for One Nation with Pauline Hanson on
love
it.
her.
Yeah, love Pauline.
They say she's a racist.
Love me some Pauline. Look, speaking about racism, I just wanted to say I'm a very bad racist, apparently.
Yeah, I see the accusations.
Yeah, I know that because I'm sitting here talking to you, who's obviously not a white man, and
I'm a black African.
But do you identify as black? Just so I know.
No, I'm trying these days to be identifying as a Caucasian cat.
Meow.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, Caucasian cat. Oh, meow.
Was that an accent thing?
It was. It was racial appropriation with the feline species, obviously.
My God, that was weird. Don't ever do that again.
I'm sorry, my apologies. But anyway, I was
just on that note, next time if we have a conversation again, which we might not after that racist thing that just happened.
I know.
Can you please bring
I'm cancelled.
Could you please bring me like a kitty litter? As a present?
Look, I was thinking about this the other day, that if you actually do throw a cat out of a car while you're driving, does that make that kitty litter?
That is by far the worst joke I've heard today.
Thank you. Where's my laughing effect there? Thank you.
Okay, we'll put it on post.
No,
It'll
but
be funny.
In all seriousness, I was driving and I saw this sign and
then you threw the kid.
And so the sign said, "I have the guts to say what you're thinking."
Yeah.
And I think, all jokes aside, I do believe that Australians are really longing for people that is just going to say what needs to be said without fear.
Yeah. Genuine, authentic.
Just authentic
audacious
people. Not politicians, not people in high positions, but just people on the streets who who scrape to get by, who live each day never knowing whether or not they're going to get kicked out of their house or the electricity is going to be cut off. Just people who struggle, people.
Yeah.
And I just think it's time that, the government starts to serve the people once again.
Yeah.
And so I think there's people that just look to people like me and others because we're not these elite politicians.
Yeah.
We're not these people that have, been born with a silver spoon. And that's one thing I don't like about Albanese.
Let's get back to Albanese in a minute.
Yeah, we'll get back to it. But we'll get to it.
I feel like I'm still doing my intro about who you are. Anyway, I was like, so I'm watching your videos and I thought, here goes an ordinary man who just has ideas. I mean, really, like it sounds like it might be these crazy PhD level thought processes, but it's like basics of the what you require for cohesion of society, or better yet, conducive for the long-term sustainability of humanity. Like those are your ideas of how you run a nation.
But I think it's like, well, I do have a PhD actually. It's called A Pretty Hot Dude. And
that makes sense.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. That's my unofficial Phday title, Pretty Hot Dude.
Did your wife title you with that one?
No, actually, funny enough, she's probably going to be rolling her eyes, cringing once she hears me say this.
I'm with you.
No, but look, I think there is such truth in simplicity. And I think one thing that, especially in the Western world, more so than other places, and I've had the privilege and the blessing to have gone to 30 nations, or 34 nations actually, to be exact. And I've just noticed that there is a real, dare I say, elite thinking in Western society. We try to overcomplicate things with our degrees and our, and all our titles and all our qualifications. And I think people just, at the end of the day, truth is simple.
Really simple.
We don't need to, I mean, in America now they've got universities that give PhDs in gender studies. I mean, like, I don't need a 7-year degree to tell me that,
let's just
a man is a man and a woman is a woman.
Okay, so if you're one of those people and you happen to come across this video for whatever reason, and you have a PhD in gender studies, may I suggest that you burn it all the way? Like, make sure it becomes ashes before you walk away, because it's useless. Anyway, continue.
Well, just on that, statistics show that people who go to college or university, they never really engage in the vocation that they studied for. It's crazy how that works out. But I just think...
Does that point out for a second that education at a tertiary level has largely become useless in the entire planet that we exist on currently?
Look,
for the most part. Okay, I'm going to have all these people that are going to be like, oh my God, then what are doctors and lawyers supposed to do? Okay, all right, there are things that people should study for because it makes sense, because it's the accumulation of knowledge over time that helps you to do what you do. For example, medicine, right? But there are some that just...
Look, people can be really intelligently stupid.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, like...
I've met none of those people ever.
On social media, I...
Name one person. Albanese, I'm kidding.
Who's intelligently stupid?
Yeah.
Intelligently stupid? Oh, I have to be Penny Wong.
That's... Penny what?
Penny Wong.
Wong?
Penny wrong, but Penny Wong. I mean, she's cold, she's callous, she's very intelligent, but she's stupid.
Yeah.
And the reason I say she's stupid is because... You can be intelligent, but you can also be a fool. And I just find that the more intelligence we try and gain, the more stupid we become. For example, I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Albert Einstein.
Yeah.
Extremely intelligent man.
Yeah.
But then humanity came and made an atom bomb out of his creation.
Yeah.
So we had the intelligence to procure such innovation and then the stupidity to use it.
Yeah, to destroy ourselves. And now we threaten each other with it.
Right. And
at a national level. Right. Like, global level.
Whatever happened to discourse where you could actually look at someone and say, you're stupid, and they can look at you and say, you're stupid, and then afterwards you go watch the football and laugh. You can't do that anymore.
No, because that's called dangerous speech. Hate speech, actually. Dangerous. Very dangerous.
But who is the arbiter on hate speech? Who has the authority to say what is hateful and what is not?
I know. I call them the woke folk.
We were just discussing off air, the woke. What does woke mean?
Yeah.
As we discussed, like, its original term was for Black Americans to, use it as a term for waking up to systematic oppression.
Yeah.
But today, wokeness is just unhinged, radical, liberal crap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you actually said something before that was hilarious about what woke is. Can you say that again? Because it's not my thing, so I don't want to pull it out of your mouth. You say it.
I can't remember what I said. What did I say? Leftist stupidity or something? I can't remember. I actually can't remember. This is the thing.
Maybe we'll remember halfway through.
This is the thing, like, I'm getting to an age now where I have to remember what I said 5 minutes ago.
Oh my God, that's right. You're 50, right?
Almost 50.
Oh my God, well done.
Yeah.
You look good for a 50-year-old.
PhD.
Yeah. Professionally.
A pretty hot dude.
Okay.
Pretty hot dude.
I was going to go professionally hot dude.
I identify as a pretty hot dude.
Sure.
But, no, but going...
Sorry, that sounded sarcastic. I did not mean that. I was not trying to diss his pretty hotness.
Look, anyway. I'm offended right now, and I feel like I need a safe space. So...
Oh my God. Did you not sign the media release form?
I actually did, but I didn't read it.
Yeah. It said this is not a safe space.
Oh, great.
It's literally like one of the first lines.
Like, I mean, your email...
Emeka Conversations, episode 2.
Your email was extremely professional, but I was like, yeah, blah, 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 yes. And
shout out to my assistant, who's always doing professional things.
It was it was very professionally done, and I actually got a little bit nervous because I was like, oh dear, this is not a TikTok, this is a real happening thing. Gee, I got to behave myself. But,
okay, but we're chill. Okay, let me finish my introduction of you. So we can get
the introduction, right?
That was a very long, hilarious introduction. But anyway, so I looked at your stuff and I thought, oh my God, I need to chat with this guy because ordinary guy. I know like some people have watched me. And this is very new. The Emeka Conversation episodes, very new. I had a belief, and I want to be able to really articulate that and remind everyone that what we are doing here is what I call the social E's, my 3 E's. The idea of every conversation I will ever have, even the shows on Emeka Unscripted, is about education, enlightenment, and empowerment. I do want to be able to educate people because so many people just have no freaking clue how every decision that is made at a political level, at a business level, the big corporates, they just don't have a freaking clue, like how it affects them. And they seem not to care to know. But the thing is, ignorance can be bliss, doesn't change that it affects you though. So we must get to a point in society where we want to be able to acquire knowledge. Now, the issue is they don't teach it in school. And I want to talk about that.
Well, I would actually say education without information is indoctrination.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is the left side of the aisle, well, we are educated.
Yeah.
And that therein is the problem because it seems to be going down a pattern where one side is the educated and the other side is the uneducated rubes.
Yeah.
And whenever people come into my videos or my lives and they want to discuss with me and show me how educated they are, I hit them with the Charlie Kirk question. All right, before we go any further,
a controversy.
Before we go any further with how educated and sometimes I wordplay and I say edumacated just to roll them up.
Yeah,
I'll say before we go on and find out how edumacated you are.
Yeah.
What is a woman? And so I asked the Charlie Kirk question. Well, you have to, because I firmly believe that if somebody considers themselves educated, but they want to stand on a platform of a man can be a woman can be a man because it's scientifically proven,
then you're a dumbass.
I'm just going to say it straight up. You're a dumbass because
you're a filthy idiot. Who needs to be pruned from the tree of life?
So I always
that was hateful. Well, no, so sorry.
So
never mind.
I always go to that question because I want to ascertain whether or not the person I'm engaging with actually has common sense. And to answer your question, I think, in all honesty, this whole indoctrination, education, information, generation that we live in, we've left common sense. We've said,
well, say it's no longer common.
Right. It's like, I want to be so educated, and so I want to, by the time I die, I want to have 7 degrees, 5 master's degrees, 4 undergraduate degrees, but we leave common sense to the side.
Yeah. I have 11 qualifications, by the way.
I've got 1.
That's cool.
It's called life.
Oh, I guess I have 12. Okay, I can't say I have 12 because I'm only 32.
No.
Nowhere there. I think you need to get to 50 to be able to say you've earned that one.
No,
clearly.
I consider myself a learned, educated man. I did go on to tertiary and I did do theological studies, so I do consider myself somewhat educated. I'm not a doctor or a scientist, and I wouldn't want to be because I don't want to be boring. So,
sorry. Just ignore that guy for a second. Doctors, scientists, we do need you.
Well,
Just-
do we?
I mean, doctors at least, because not everybody. If we don't have them, a lot of people will just perish.
But you do.
Like we'll just have half of humanity die off because of half the dumb stuff they're doing, like sticking a penis in another man's butthole. Not cool. Yep, I said it. That's why you have AIDS. And all the other, what did they call it? Syphilis?
I would call them manual colon cleansers.
Oh, God.
So,
why are you going to be disgusted?
what did you just say, bro?
True. I did just say something
but that opens up another argument. This whole, again, in the West.
Yeah.
And I think you don't really find this in Africa.
Yeah. What are you pointing at me when you say that?
Yeah, because you're African, brother. So
Racist.
Oh, I'm so racist. I mean, like, I'm talking to a black African man.
Hey, Paul and Hanson, come and get your
come and get your koala. Pauline, love you, by the way.
Think you're cool. Come on my show, please. Anyway.
No, but the thing is, if we can just change tack for 1 second about the COVID.
Yeah.
I think society in general has lost their trust in the medical establishment to a certain degree.
Yeah.
And the reason is because we saw during the COVID, especially down here in Australia, and more so in Victoria.
Love how you're calling it the COVID, by the way.
Yeah, the COVID. You know, because the COVID. Look, you've got to label it like, we all know that the COVID novel virus has been around, we know of, since 1994.
Yeah.
But apparently it was a new thing. But the thing is, like, if they hadn't have chopped and changed, wear a mask, don't wear a mask, have 1 jab, have 2 jabs, have 3 jabs, have 4 jabs. You don't need to go out, you do need to go out. These...
By far my favorite one was wear a mask in the car.
Bro.
When you're by yourself.
Dude, I no lie, I came in on my scooter. I ride a scooter, I'm tough, right? And there was an Asian lady. Was that racist? Can I say Asian lady, or am I going to get in trouble for that one too?
I don't know. You're fine. I think.
And she was in a car. I knew she was Asian because, one, she was in a Tesla, and secondly,
do you have a problem with Elon Musk?
No, I love the guy.
Me too.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah, but she was in her car and the windows were up.
Yeah.
And she was all masked up, and I'm like, you're weird. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Okay, so COVID. Wait. We'll continue the COVID.
Now I'm going to need a Tim Tam because you mentioned COVID.
Yeah. Every time I say COVID, get a Tim Tam.
Yeah. Every time you say COVID, Tim Tam.
So after education comes enlightenment, and in enlightenment, it's not just about acquiring knowledge. You must be in a position in your life where you are able to think for yourself. So it's not enough to just have knowledge, but being able to understand things and interpret things and read the in between the lines. We literally have been given brains to be able to do that. We've been given the kind of hearts that we have to be able to do that. So I want to be able to get society and a group of young people to a place, and old, to a place where they can start to think for themselves. Stop being fed this narrative online and on the mainstream media. They do what they do in order to cause mass cohesion, which results in people following blindly. I was going to use bigger terms than that, but I thought I kind of used following blindly. It's called propaganda. So we go from education to enlightenment and then empowerment. And the whole idea here is being empowered to act. Because it's not enough to know stuff, and it's not enough to be able to think for yourself with what you now know, but you must be able to act with what you know. Otherwise, you are useless to society. And you must be a contributing member, because we have been given a mandate as humans to be good stewards of our world. So that's why we do what we do. So when I found you, I thought we should have a conversation about all things that affect us currently. So, okay, I want to go back to COVID, but before that, so just give me like a linear, who is Justin? Like all the bits that you are comfortable telling the world, a little bit about your story for some credibility.
I've never had credibility. So, look, I come from a broken home, but not broken in the context of divorce. Yeah. I lost pretty much 90% of my family to a cancer cluster. Wow. Through the ages of 15 to 17. Wow. And so it was a very rough period. Yeah. And at the same time, my father was very abusive. And myself and my brother, we found ourselves pretty much on the streets and going from house to house and whatnot. So I guess the resilience of who I am really was founded, in the time from when I was 15.
Yeah.
Learning to live on the streets and learning to not so much be tough as in fighting, but to fight for survival, you know?
Yeah.
And so I guess the reason why I'm controversial and pretty much in your face is because I had to be.
Yeah.
You know, when you're 15 and you've lost your entire family, not at that time the entire, but on the process to losing the entire, you know, it really hits you hard. And, you know, no 15-year-old should even have to even worry about those kind of things, to be honest, in a perfect world. So who am I? I'm just a regular Aussie guy. I've been accused, as you know, on social media of being racist, and as you can see right now, I suck at it because I'm with lovely people here, chatting with you, and my brother's here, and my sister here, and so if I'm a racist, I'm a really bad opponent of it. But I'm just a guy that loves his country, loves my family, loves my friends, and there's a thing, I don't know if you ever heard of G.K. Chesterton.
No.
He says, we fight in the army not because we hate what's in front of us, but because we love what's behind us. And so who am I? I'm just a random guy. I'm not anybody special. I'm just your average Aussie, overweight, sort of bald-headed fella, buffhead.
Show us. Show us.
What was it?
Show us. You said something about bald-headed. Oh! Put it back on, please. Put it back on.
No, I think I'm just going to...
No, please put it back on.
Talk in my glory right now.
I think that is offensive to our viewers.
No, so I'm just a guy that I've got to a point now where I'm looking at, the second part of my life. I'm coming into, I suppose the years approaching my retirement and all that kind of stuff. And I have to ask myself, what am I going to leave behind?
Yeah.
What am I going to be remembered for? What am I going to bring to Australia? And I've just decided, you know what? Stuff it. I'm just going to say what people are thinking.
Yeah.
And if it means come what may, then I'm in the hands of God. So
publicly crucified?
Publicly crucified. Look, I even said to my wife a long time ago, I said, I know that my voice is going to have me martyred one day. I'm serious when I say it. We live in a society
We're
now.
We're part of the I Am Charlie movement, right?
Well, we are part of it, but just not the ways, you look at society today.
Yeah.
It's not the same as what it was.
Yeah.
I'm almost 50 years old. The Australia that I see today is not the Australia that I grew up in. And that's got nothing to do with immigration. I'm all for immigration.
Yeah.
I love immigrants. My wife's one. I suck as a racist again, don't I? I'm all for immigration. I'm all for people coming and living their best life. And I don't care of your colour of your skin, what gender you are. If you want to come and you want to be successful and you want to respect other people and you want to abide by the laws and the regulations of this country that we all share together, then you know what?
So be it.
So be it.
Welcome.
What I'm against is Anthony Albanese and Anthony Albanese.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Did you get
Point
that?
made.
Did you get that, Mr. Albanese?
Point made.
No, I'm against this unsustained immigration. Look, take a drive to North Maclean. Have you go along the Bow Desert Highway? Drive to Bow Desert. Go to North Maclean.
This is in Queensland.
This is in Queensland.
In Australia.
Shaiba.
Can you never do that again?
Oh, well, I could do that one as well.
Oh, my God. Did you just dab?
I just dabbed.
50-year-olds are not allowed to dab.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
You're capping. Anyway.
Oh, my God. Did he just jet alpha me?
I don't understand Gen Alpha. I really don't.
Me neither.
But if you take a drive along the Bow Desert Highway and you go to the Sikh temple.
Yeah.
Not being not hyperbolic here, but I actually started to cry because I counted no less than 100 tents.
Yeah.
In that place, not caravans, people stopping for the night and continue. People living there.
Wow. In Australia.
In Australia, you go to Phil Gould Adams Park in Kingston.
Yeah.
You go to the West End. You go to here in North Maclean. You go to Caboolture.
Yeah.
There are 10 cities of people, black, white, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Australians working full time who can't afford their homes. What the hell has happened to our country? I know we're getting serious for 1 second.
Yeah, it's true.
But what the hell has happened to our country?
What the heck, man?
We used to be a country where one income was more than enough to survive. Now mums and dads are having to work. They're losing time with their kids.
32 jobs.
Yep. Their kids are running a riot because there's no fatherly instruction there anymore. our country is spiraling
out of control.
Out of control.
Because we have woke, idiotic, unintelligent, no clue what they're doing.
Buffheads.
Okay. Thanks for finishing my statement.
That was free. Next one, I'll charge you.
I didn't say COVID. Why are you having a Tim Tam?
Because I like them.
Okay.
To all the Americans that are going to be watching this, you got to have Tim Tams.
Have you heard that there's now a fish and chips flavor?
Yeah.
What the heck, man?
Yeah.
That is almost as bad as being Albanese.
I think that. Oh, look.
We should really go easy on Mr. Albanese.
No, we shouldn't. No, we shouldn't. And that's why our country is where it is, because as a population, we are going too easy on Albanese.
Yeah, we're going too easy on the entire cohort of leadership that we have elected to run our country.
Leadership?
Well,
dude, bro, the guy can't even get a meeting with Donald Trump, yet, he's meeting with cleaners from Costa Rica.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
How is it that people?
That obviously makes sense. Do you not know why?
Oh, go on.
I don't either. I just wondered.
How is it that Australia, that is supposed to be one of the greatest friends to America, our honourable and transparently honest Prime Minister, can't even get a sit-in with the leader of the free world?
Yeah.
That's embarrassing, people.
Beyond embarrassing.
It's beyond embarrassing.
Yeah.
When he's having meetings with Romania, with Costa Rica, with El Salvador.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump, Australia, I used to think it was a great country, but Airbus elbow.
Okay, pause for a second. You said something on your one of your videos where you're like, well done, mate. You managed to pull something off. You united.
Yes. I turned around. I was thinking about what quality does Anthony Albanese have?
Yeah.
And the only thing I could think about was he united Iran and Israel in agreeing that he was a weak leader.
Yeah.
That's skill.
Do you reckon that, weak is not really the word? I think maybe that got lost in translation. I don't think that's the word they meant to say.
I think, look, we're both Christians, so we're not gonna say what we're really thinking. But I think they both would look at each other and say, "This guy's a buffhead."
Is that like your favorite insult?
Oh no! Everyone that knows me knows that if they hear the word buffhead, then the feral koala is going to be around somewhere.
They replace it with whatever other word they want in their head.
Yeah,
that
because
is derogatory and insulting.
Those that know me know I'm loath to cussing. I don't cuss.
Me neither.
And you found that out in our phone call because you asked me. You said to me, "You're a Christian, by the way."
Yeah. It's when you were about to say something like you were really angry about. You were very passionate about something you were saying, and right there should have been like a swear word, and instead you were like, I think you said sh and
sugar honey iced tea.
It's like, this guy.
Yeah, he was like, "Hang on, one second. Are you a Christian?" I'm like, what makes you say that?
Yeah. I said, because you just substituted IT. Anyway.
Look, I hold on to this ethos that only stupid people swear. Because if you cannot articulate your emotions without having to debase yourself to vulgarity, you're not very intelligent.
Yeah. See, there is a, for all those that swear, lol. Just can we put a cricket right there?
Hey, some of the people are looking at each other in this room right now.
For all those that swear.
Yeah. Have I? Oh, I think I've just hit a button. I've hit a nerve somewhere.
There is a guy, you will know Jordan Peterson, and he says there's actually a time to swear when you want to let out a certain amount of emotion. I actually had an argument with this about my mom, and actually,
you didn't swear at your mum.
No. Oh my God, she'd beat me. She'll beat me with a belt at the ripe old age of 32. Have you met African mothers? Anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But anyway, I was thinking, I genuinely, you will never hear me swear. If I'm very angry, I will say SHIT, right? I will go down that path and I will hit it hard. But I was thinking, right, I'm not a fan of it, but I genuinely do enjoy if you drop the F-bomb at the appropriate place and time. There's literally, I feel, there is an appropriate time for it.
Look, that's up for debate because I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if you drop a brick on your foot, you're not going to say, "Oh, jolly fiddlesticks." but the thing is, And the thing is, biblically speaking, there is a case for that because the Apostle Paul was known to actually be very voracious in his vocabulary. He would call people, actually, if you know, you probably do know, he actually referred to certain people as dogs. And in the culture of that time back then, that was like the worst thing you could have said. You know? You know? So I do think there is... When the Bible says, let no unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, I don't think necessarily it's talking about cursing. I think, you know, because I was in New Zealand and I was preaching at a church in Rotorua.
So I'm going to point out something real quick. There are obviously, when we do
cultural
this...
differences.
No. When we do this filming, there are people in the room and it's our team. Team of people that do the producing with us. And Justin is a big fan of referring to them during the shot. I generally pretend like they're not there, but you know, that's who he's pretending.
Well, that's okay. It's my heart because I remember one time I was actually in the Philippines and I preached at a stadium of like 15,000 people. And after I did my set, if you want to call it that, my wife and I, we went and walked out amongst the crowd. And just sat down because I like hearing people's life stories. I love being around people. You know, people inspire me. And so I did that. And anyway, the organizer of that whole shebang was looking for me and looking for my wife. And one of the ushers finally found us and they're like, Pastor Justin, can you please come to the VIP room? VIP room. And I looked at him and went, what's a VIP in Christianity? He goes, oh no.
It's a very special pulpit.
He goes, no, well, Pastor wants you to meet the special people. I said, we're all special. What are you talking about? Right? I've always, I'm sorry if this is the wrong thing, forgive me. You'll never have me here again. It's all good. But I acknowledge people.
Very cool.
You know, I acknowledge people.
I just thought I'd point out for the audience because you're like, who's he? Anyway, you went to New Zealand.
So I went to New Zealand. And I was in Rotorua. And the assistant pastor came up and spoke to me before the service, and he just dropped the SHIT word like it was nothing. And being, you know, an Australian in the Christian scene, you're like, But I found out in New Zealand that's actually quite common occurrence. I was like, okay, you learn something new every. And so my wife was like, well, are you going to start saying it? Hell no. You know? But I think...
some people will find hell no like as a swear word.
Well, then they're just buffets.
There we are again. Okay, I think it's time we get back to...
Right, sure.
So we started talking and I felt, okay, cool. We got on the phone and I was kind of trying to work out what your origin story is of where you found that, okay, something is going wrong in our nation and we need to be able to say and do something about it. I am feeling really, and you started to gather this level of passion of you want to have some conversations. So from what I gathered, obviously you're like, okay, I'm getting older and I thought, what am I going to leave behind? There's all of that sort of stuff. But from what I gathered, there's kind of an origin story there that kind of connects to COVID, which is why I said let's get back to COVID. So talk us through that because there is for people that may not know, during COVID in Brisbane, Australia, which is where we had these shoots, Brisbane, Queensland, Australia, there was a movement that was started, which was called, it started in Queensland, didn't it, in Brisbane? The People's Revolution.
Yes, but then went down to Melbourne, through it via Canberra and then back up.
Okay. Yeah. So the People's Revolution started, and funnily enough, there was a parade that occurred during
3
the
weeks
COVID
ago.
era. Oh, no, not that one.
Oh, okay.
We'll get back to that one.
Yeah, sure.
But there was one that occurred back during the COVID era. Here we go. I'm saying the COVID too. That I attended, and very likely you were there too.
Oh, more than likely.
Right? So we actually started connecting over that. So it's really interesting. What I want to do now is kind of start telling the story and weaving through from that COVID era, because I started to experience a lot of the same things at that point. And, you know, one of the things we talked about was the fact that I come from Africa as well, and I love this country. I love that we are not on the verge of civil war, like, you know, maybe we are, but calm down. But like from where I came from some of the crazy things that the leadership in those countries have allowed to happen, the corruption, the pollution, the ideologies that makes those places almost unlivable. So we came here to get away from that. And you were sharing this as well, that your wife almost echoed the same thing, where it's like, what the heck? Who would have thought that a decade later, we are seeing trends that are fast approaching that madness. And it's all started.
It started COVID.
For me,
at COVID, it started.
Seeing it during COVID.
Yeah, 100%. As a red-blooded Aussie, the one thing that really disappointed me out of all of the COVID craziness was the reality that Australians lost their sense of just being tough. You know, not that I want to quote a Nazi, but Rommel is very.
You are definitely getting called a Nazi after this.
I get called Nazi all the time.
I have seen that too. Yes. That's true.
I do, and I'm not a Nazi. I disavow the Nazi party. Anyway, I don't even need to go there.
Yeah.
But Rommel actually, he mentioned both the Australian and the New Zealanders in their war efforts. And he was surprised. He said, look, give me 1 battalion of Australians and 1 battalion of New Zealanders, one to take the beach and one to hold the beach. Rommel knew that there was this ethic within Australians and New Zealanders that we were fighters, that we Australians have always been like, you know, the underdog. You know, when you look at our population size compared to America and the UK, we're minuscule. But we always punched above our weight. And so when I saw COVID come, and then I started to see even before the mandates, you could see where the government was going. You could see it. It was like, anyway, when the government brought in these mandates, like these no jab, no job, things, and now they're backtracking and say they never had. You know, and that's what angers me even more. Now
that bloody liars.
They lied out of their teeth. But to see my fellow Australians just, for want of a better word, bend over and take it. There was no fight. There was no resistance. There was no like, hey, what are you doing? Like, to me, that was. See, you can hear my voice now. I'm getting passionate because I'll try and calm down.
No, it's fine.
But it was, to me, that was the key. And I said to Carolina, my wife, I said, we've just lost our country. Because even in my workplace, and I will say, I was at Greyhound Australia. And Greyhound Australia made me redundant because I was the only one that said, no, I'm not having the jab.
Wow.
Got a nice payout, so thank you, Greyhound. You know,
they're going to love this. Just
Greyhound was the most woke company out there.
That's insane.
It was shocking. And so they made me...
I don't know about the most.
Well, they were up there.
Netflix probably outcompetes. But I like dropping Netflix.
So anyway, I got made redundant because of the whole... And after having conversations later on with people and with a lawyer actually in New South Wales, I had a very, very real case for, discrimination and unfair dismissal. I did, but
I bet you did.
I 100% did. But you know what? I'm bigger than that. I'm like, okay, I believe in what goes around comes around. And so when I saw that happen and I saw people, friends, family, it was horrible. I lost so many friends. Are you jabbed? No. Oh, you tinfoil hat wearing, blah, 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 blah.
What was it? Like, what entered people's heads?
I don't know.
Like, their friends were turning against friends, family against families. I remember visiting a restaurant and the guy in there was like, you have to show us your vaccination. You remember that whole the app that we built that we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars building to show that we were vaccinated in Queensland and in Australia. And if you wouldn't show it, which if you asked me for it, like at some point, eventually I was like, if you ask me, I'm leaving. I'm not sure. Like even if I had it, it's my personal health information. It's really hilarious, right? Like health. Any matter to do with health, according to privacy legislations, is private.
Not under emergency powers.
Except when they suddenly call up some emergency powers and they say, nope, you have to show it. So some random at freaking wherever that was, a restaurant, I had to pull up this thing and show it to them. What the hell, man? Like, people lost their freaking
But you know
minds.
what I did? And it worked. You know what I did? I got screenshots from Google Images of passport, COVID passport things and went, yep, no problems. I'm like, fine.
But I know the fake app went around for a while.
Yeah, it did.
I may or may not have tried that one time.
It did. But getting back to your question, my question was, what happened to Australians? We were tough. We were resilient. We were people that... I mean, do you remember the video years ago when ScoMo was doing a press release on the garden of some guy's freshly laid lawn? And he comes out of his house. This is on Channel 9 News.
Oh, my God.
Comes out of his house and says to ScoMo, hey, sorry, forgive my language, because, hey, dickhead, get off my grass, I just laid it. That's what he said to the Prime Minister.
Yes.
He literally said to the Prime Minister, get off my grass, you buffhead. This is the Prime Minister of Australia. And so I was like...
We should find that video.
I can find it, no problem. So
great.
I was like, where's that gone?
We became complicit.
I don't think we came... In all honesty, I don't think we became complicit. We became gutless.
Yeah.
We became limp-wristed. We did. We did. And you're right. Families were destroyed. Friendships were destroyed. Employment
Over
was
what?
destroyed. Over what? See...
The government pitting you against each other.
My body, my choice. What a you lying hypocrites. My body, my choice. What about my body, my choice for COVID jab?
Yeah, no, except that time. Except if the government is saying so.
And that's where I'm going back to earlier on about the common sense part of where it's gone. There is no common sense in our Western society anymore.
So my thing was, I was thinking about it. So I made a mandate. I made our own mandate in the company, in one of my businesses, and I said, I'm just not going to enforce it, because that was back when they were making all employers enforce it. And I was chatting with a good friend of mine who also works with me, and I was saying to him that, I've seen this before. This feels awfully familiar. If you had said to me, COVID's bad, it could kill people. We've come up with a possible solution for it. And I say possible because it was not tried, it wasn't tested, not anywhere near enough. We didn't know anything about the efficacy. How can you go, this is such a big bad problem, it's going to kill everybody, and then boom, here's a solution. Wait a second.
Yeah.
So every other thing, when it comes to vaccination and cure, takes months, years to decades to develop. But if it's COVID, we have the solution a week later.
Operation Warp Speed.
Right. Okay. And then you go, this is a possible solution. Take it. Look, it's your choice. Take it. We think it will help you. We think it's going to be good for you. It's going to be good for the society. I would have 100% happily gone and taken it.
And that's what I think I said that to you.
Yeah.
The problem with me wasn't the fact that they had this vaccine.
Yeah.
The problem was the deliberate enforcement of it.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person where I'm rebellious by nature. Right? If a government,
I think men are just real men.
real men. Okay, real alpha men. We're rebellious by nature. If the government had just come and said, "Hey, look, Justin, we've got this COVID vaccine. We're not 100% if it's going to be completely effective. We're not going to force it upon you. You're not going to have any ramifications of job loss or social, instability. But it's there if you want it." I more than likely would have said, you know 100%. What? I'll have it.
Let's do it.
I'll have it.
Yeah.
But the fact that they mandated and said, you will have this or you won't have a job.
It just went wild.
It went absolutely. And 100%, no word of a lie, 100% of the people I speak to, when I talk about the COVID jab and I say, why did you do it? Well, I wanted to keep my job.
Yeah. But that's a fair response that a lot of people ended up with. I must say though, it's really quite important to still talk about COVID, because I think we're getting into that era now where it feels like such a past history now and maybe bears no real relevance anymore. But what I am absolutely feeling is that if we don't wake the hell up and have a realization that if they did it then, they could do it again. And if we've forgotten so quickly that what just happened, we will sooner or later drift into finding ourselves in the exact same position of compliance again that is fundamentally, like we're now discovering, absolutely bad for us. It was one of the worst things for them to have done to people. I know people with severe heart conditions. I know people who have died. It's all these crazy things. And if we don't literally remember what that was, and that was not right, and that should have never been allowed to happen, we will very quickly forget, so that when it matters next and we are supposed to stand up and go, absolutely not, we will comply again.
Well, yes and no, but Brett Sutton from Victoria, who was the health minister down there, he just came out last week and actually said that, for want of a better word, an apology. He's finally admitted.
Well, he's the first.
Yeah, he's finally admitted this was and you'll find that a lot of people are now starting to come out and saying, maybe we could have done this a little bit differently. And the reason why is because people are now having real life consequences to the adverse reactions. Yeah. And one thing I say, here's my tinfoil moment. When it first started, I say, you watch the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
How many suddenly dies do we see in the news now?
Yeah, they don't publicise them.
But for a while, you saw suddenly died, suddenly dead.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I was looking at one research paper that said myocarditis in the US rose by 800% in 11 to 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
11 to 15-year-olds don't die from heart disease. You know, so
but that's normal. What do you mean?
But you tell these you know, leftist ideologues who are so educated.
Yeah.
Oh, where's the correlation? They still want to
refuse the
evidence. And this is part of why I believe, this very briefly, why I think we as a society, we are in a great delusion. We are seriously in a great delusion now where people, you can give them the book of statistics and whack them in the head.
Yeah.
And they just won't get it.
I think about the problem there, though, is that there is such a grand confusion of information, right? There's so much information, so much data that people genuinely get confused as to what to believe. And this is where enlightenment is important for me, right? Because it's like, okay, but reason through it though. See, look at the data in front of you. Like, this is what I was saying, right? Like suddenly you have the government with COVID going, no, you have to take it. You have to force people to take it. You have to do this. And all the reasons just didn't make any sense. And for a second, if you had some common sense, if you could just think for yourself, for crying out loud, you will start to realize very quickly something is wrong here.
If, let's say, just say for one moment, Ebola escaped Africa.
Yeah.
You would not need to make music videos, do dancing routines, offering burgers and fries.
Yeah.
People would be running for that vaccine and saying, give it to me now. Because Ebola...
Yeah. We've seen the real damage.
Ebola doesn't mess around.
No.
You know, you get Ebola, you're more than likely, see you later, adios.
Yeah.
You know. And that's another thing. I mean, how many videos did we see? I mean, I don't know if you saw this. I don't know if... Did you see the video of Jimmy Kimmel with Ariana Grande?
I don't watch anything to do with.
It's called.
Either of those
okay,
people.
this is how crazy people got. They literally produced a song called "COVID Christmas."
Really?
Oh yeah, have in your.
Fun.
It's on YouTube.
that's how bizarrely insane we got for a second.
In the rap moment, in the rap chorus, there's this woman. I think it might have been Cardi B. She's got fingernails, but instead of fingernails, guess what they were? Syringes.
Yep, that makes sense.
And Jimmy Kimmel and Ariana Grande, in some parts, are wrapped in toilet paper. God knows what was with toilet paper in COVID.
Oh my God, insanity!
Was that
losing their freaking
Was that
mind.
a witness to prove that Australians are just full of caca?
Okay then.
What was it with toilet paper?
Can we just delete that out of this?
No, you put that on. What was it with? I went to Byron Bay.
And water.
I went to Byron Bay Woolworths when I was still working with Greyhound when it first hit, and of course you remember 3-day lockdown, 5-day lockdown, 2-day lockdown, and every single freaking time people would go and rush to buy toilet paper.
Yeah,
I'm like, stuff your toilet paper. Get your baked beans. Get your 2-minute noodles. Get your cans of tuna. Get your food for the next. Oh no, toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
What was with?
Mass insanity. They in that whole event, they managed to prove that they can literally coerce an entire group of people into mass insanity, and they did it so well that if you could not stand out easily, like you could not go, yeah, no, this makes no sense, and I'm not really keen on complying. They would just go, we will send the police to shut you down.
I know, right? I know.
Thankfully, they never tried to shut me down, even though I publicly said, if you want a job and you don't want a jab, come and see me.
Do you know what company in Australia got really rich during COVID?
I'm imagining one of the vaccination ones.
Kleenex.
Oh, of course. Makes sense.
Kleenex. The toilet people who produce toilet paper, their profits went...
Should we speculate for a minute?
Absolutely.
I think Kleenex was involved in with China to manufacture COVID.
I haven't heard that one. Now we're getting down some dark web stuff, right?
Yeah. Okay. So we've talked. Okay, COVID. Then there was this movement. We were talking about that.
Yep.
The what's it called again?
People's Revolution.
People's Revolution. There's a guy called Tricky.
Yeah.
And he was he was a big part of that movement. He was one of the founders of that movement. Actually, we're talking about this, and let's briefly touch on that before we start kind of venturing into some of the other more current issues. And that is Tricky kind of went south a bit. Like, and it's very disappointing to see when, we get people stand out for a bit and they go, this is enough. And there's a big cultural problem here potentially. People go, this is enough. We can't do it anymore. And then I don't know what happens. They get coerced. They get bullied. They get maybe paid off. Something happens, and and especially people who manage to gather some level of a movement. And by the way, if they can't veer them away, what are they going to do? Oh, I know. They shoot them in the throat.
Make them control.
Charlie Kirk.
They might, I think with Tricky, it's sad because you're right. During COVID, I actually followed that guy because I was like, man, this guy, he's speaking my language.
Yeah.
I went to the protest at the No Ego cafe over there in what was it? Ormo.
Yeah.
No, in Ormo.
Ormo, yeah.
And he went to bat for that cafe owner.
Yeah.
The police came, and I had a sense of pride because the police came, the unmarked cars, the detectives, the police in their riot gear came, and we stood them down. We were like, nah, we ain't budging.
What a powerful moment.
And the police backed down. And
the power of the people, by the way.
Credit to Tricky for that. I'll give credit where credit's due, but like you said, something has happened from COVID to now. I went to the People's Revolution rally a couple of weeks back in the city.
Yeah.
And, and you've seen some of the footage on my TikTok.
Yeah, I have.
And I was so dismayed because when I first got there was, and a police officer confirmed this, there was probably between 3,000 to 4,000 people.
Yeah.
It wasn't as big as like the Palestinian. We'll get to that one in a minute, but there was like maybe I'll just say 3,000 people to be conservative.
Yeah.
He started speaking, and the rubbish that was pouring out of his mouth, you could see people with their flags packing up and going home.
Yeah.
Not even going to the march.
Yeah, this is a guy who started what was actually quite a powerful
the People's Revolution was a powerful
during
movement.
the COVID era.
It was powerful. But see, what happened at that particular rally was he started to send out the coffers, asking people to donate to the cause. We didn't go to give money like a church service.
Yeah.
We went to hear people speak and invigorate and inspire people to stand against government tyranny. It's the things that he was saying which was losing so many people because, and I quote, and I have this on film, and I actually posted this on his Facebook page, and he calls me a liar and all that. And Tricky has a reputation of calling anybody that stands against him as a liar or whatever, or a psyop. He actually said these words verbatim: Christians and Muslims must unite. That's what he said. They were literally his words. And you lost me. I am not going to unite with Islam. I know we may or may not talk about Islam, but I am not going to unite with Islam. And for a rally that is supposedly about bringing people together and living as Australians in a Western society, well, Islam doesn't coerce with that. And he's telling us to actually align ourselves with an ideology that doesn't assimilate.
And there's certainly a group of on that side of the house that the belief system there definitely veers off that group cohesion, standing up for our nation as a whole. And ultimately, I think what I'm hearing you articulate there is that Tricky seems to had lost his way very quickly. What were we standing for? We are Australians and something is going wrong and it is not in line with who we are as a people group.
Right.
And that's what the main course was about. He just went into all of these areas that were just so irrelevant.
Right. We were there primarily against government tyranny.
Yeah.
We weren't even there for anti-immigration.
Yeah.
The majority of us were there to tell the government, back off. We have these issues. We've got the immigration issue. We've got the obvious issue with Islam now, doing what it's doing.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of issues in this country. And Tricky, he lost his way. Instead of like trying to bring, some clarity to the moment, he was just compounding the confusion.
Yeah.
People in the crowd were like, they were. You hear it on my video.
Yeah.
People were saying, this is embarrassing. We didn't come here for this.
Yeah.
And so, if I can put it this way, Australia right now is so fractured.
Yeah.
You've got the people that are pro-Palestine.
Yeah.
You got the people who are pro-Islam. You got the people who are pro-LGBTQ. You got the people who are pro-Christian, pro-Israel. Everybody's fractured.
Yeah.
And there's no cohesion anywhere anymore.
Yeah.
And so what I think that needs to happen is we need to put Australia first. Like you said, the culture and the society. I believe and I know we're probably changing direction, but I believe Australia is at a really important moment in our history.
Yeah.
Where we can forge together a new identity and a new culture together.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a firm believer of removing the Union Jack from our flag.
I have no say in that. I'm not. Enlighten me.
Well, the reason I say that is because the Union Jack, not just in Australia, but in New Zealand and in India and other parts of the world.
Wait, the Union Jack is on the Indian flag?
No, but India used to be a British Empire.
Oh, right, I see. Yeah.
Right. The Union Jack still appears on, I think, 57 countries around the world. I might be mistaken, but anyway. The Union Jack, unfortunately, for a lot of people, represents violence and, torture and talking about the First Nations people, I do agree with them that the Union Jack must be removed from the flag.
Right.
Because, and I look, with Kangaroo Jack, for example, I disagree with him on a lot of things. We're friends, but we have a lot of disagreements, right? But on this, I would stand on this hill and fight with him. The Union Jack to Indigenous Australia is a remembrance of, stolen generation. Yeah. It's a remembrance of, colonisation. And colonisation is not always a bad thing. I'm just going to put that out there.
Yep.
And so I think Australia has...
I just freeze on that moment because there's going to be a hell of a lot of people that go, what the F is this talking about? Guys,
I'll get some flashback for that one.
Drop it. No, I'm not saying drop the comments. I'm saying put it in the comment, argue your point, and let's argue it out. I'd love to be educated and enlightened by what you might think. Yeah. Civil discourse.
Right.
No threats.
Keep it... Oh, yeah, well, good luck with that one. But colonisation isn't always bad.
Yeah.
Colonisation has had a good effect in many instances in Australia.
Yeah.
The advancement of...
Actually, interestingly enough, there's a guy called Matt Walsh. He actually makes a really solid argument about that exact point. He's an American political commentator.
You said Matt Walsh?
Matt Walsh,
I know him,
yeah. So he's on Daily Wire. He actually makes a really compelling argument about that. I never considered it that way before, but it was one of the first times I was like, we've always grown up being taught that colonization is bad. They're all bad. White people are bad. Which, by the way, anyway, let's move on from that. Okay. I think I'm really, really kind of interested now to start veering towards our modern day issues. And which is largely a lot of what's on your platform that you talk about that has attracted quite a crowd to you.
Oh yeah.
And in support of what you are saying because it is affecting the everyday Australian and they don't love it. They need it to stop and etc.
And what issue are we referring to?
So let's start with the fact that Australia seems to be fast drifting towards a lot of the rubbish we're seeing in the UK. Right.
Oh God, no.
But seriously, and maybe even the fact that our government, they've made this recent decision about managing social media for kids, that anyone under 16 can't access it. Now, whilst that generally sounds like a great idea, it is so bad because it's the start of the control. Because the government, your job isn't to be a parent. Let parents be parents and let governments be government. You are doing your job so terribly, but somehow you want to reach your filthy hands into and I call them filthy because it seems like they have nothing else to do other than put it in shit, right? You reach hands into the homes of families and you want to tell parents how to, manage their children's ability to access social media. And here's my point, because a country, a political endeavor, or rather a leadership of a country that decides that they need to manage that will very quickly decide that if you say something that they disagree with, they'll label it dangerous and they'll come to your house and arrest you like we're seeing happening in the UK. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, no, you're right in the actual principle, but I disagree with you on the application of why he's done it. If you remember last year, was it last year, year before?
Sure.
Might have been the end of 2023.
Okay.
He tried to push through a freedom, he tried to suppress freedom on the internet, and it got shut down in Parliament. It got shut down in the House.
Yeah.
And so he left with his tail between his legs. This whole under 16 ban on social media, let me tell you right now, it's not about the kids.
No, it's not. That's my point.
All right, this is
that's exactly my point.
Because Albanese is, I liken him to Lucifer. All right.
We just called you the devil.
Yeah, basically, because the devil. I'll tell you why. Because the devil is a very astute, cunning, intelligent, sentient being.
Cunning.
Right, and so I'm literally calling Albanese a type of Lucifer.
Yeah.
Cunning, intelligent, deceptive. When that bill got shut down.
The guy who says, by the way, we're not going to lie to Australians. Wait, remember that video? We're not going to bullshit Australians.
Well, he is a king of bullshit. But anyway, so, yes, I said it. I'm angry. I feel bad now. So, see, sorry, Lord, forgive me.
For swearing.
Yeah.
For swearing.
No, so what he did was, he was so smart. He realised that he couldn't get the bill through Parliament.
Yeah.
So what does he do? Okay, my fellow Australians, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make, social media unavailable for people 16 years and younger.
Yep.
What does that mean? That you need identification to go on the internet. So what he did was he just circumnavigated the bill that was shut down and used kids as a proxy for having that same bill pushed through.
Yep.
See, every time you, myself, whoever... Every time we access the internet, what are we going to have to do from December 10?
Yeah, identify that we're not on the 16.
With what?
That's what, by the way, you don't disagree with anything I just said. That's exactly what I mean.
But I disagree with the actual application of why he did it.
Yeah.
He didn't do it because he wants to shut down and be the parent to children. He did it because he wants the social media digital control.
Gotcha. Okay, so perhaps let me re-articulate that, because he's positioned it as... he needs to protect young people. But what my argument is let's say for whatever reason, let's say that is a credible, it's not even just a credible, it's a very good thing to do, sir. Look at you. You're trying to protect young people. It seems very fair.
Do you think kids are going to access this?
Well, but see, the thing for me is so crazy. It's like, well, even if that was the right thing to do, why are you trying to do? Like, you're not a parent.
I got kids, right? I mean, both of them are above 16, so I've got no dog in this fight anymore.
I certainly do.
Right, you do. All right, but I, as a parent, as a average Aussie guy.
Yeah.
Dad, I need to go on the internet. I want to talk to my friends.
Yeah.
Here's my ID.
That's 100% what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen. But parents are going to say, stuff you, Albo. Yeah. My kid's going on.
Yeah.
Kids, we have to understand that kids today are not like when our generation or my generation, we would go out and ride a bike, go tell ghost stories in the middle of a cricket pitch until midnight.
Yeah.
Scare the hell out of each other, go home and say, oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
Kids today, they socialize on social media.
Yeah.
Every single day you see on the buses, on the trains, and the planes, kids are talking to each other on social media.
Yep.
Now, do I agree that bullying needs to be driven out? Yeah, of course I do.
Yeah.
And the government needs to find ways to make it almost impossible for kids to bully. But let's be realistic. You're never going to ever stop kids from bullying. It's wrong.
Okay,
but it's part of growing up.
Okay. Thank you for saying that, because I was going to just say something slightly controversial. I think bullying is an important part of growing up.
Absolutely.
I think if you turned up to school and you said, "Dear teacher, sir, I now identify as a cat," and every kid around you goes meow, and he pisses you off.
You leave Marsden High School alone.
Say it again?
You leave Marsden High School alone.
Marsden High School?
That's what happened in Marsden High School.
Well, maybe I may or may not have been referring to them and others.
I am. Hi, Marsden.
What the hell, man? Like, if you turn up to school and you say, "I think I now identify as a boy," when you are clearly a girl,
now
you'll get bullied.
But let's qualify this. We're not advocating for actual over-the-top bullying. Don't get me wrong.
It just
bullying,
picking on to change your mind.
But see, again, society has changed the definition of what bullying is.
Yeah.
Like, if I turn around and say, "Oh, I don't like you," don't be a bully.
Yeah.
Everything is so.
I mean, it's weaker than that, though. It's like, what you just said is not okay, or like that's. I disagree with that.
My daughter came home from school one day, right? And this is how the the principal had wanted to deal with the issue of school bullying. Because let's be real, people, it happens.
Yeah.
No matter how much we police it.
Important part of growing up. I stand by that statement.
No matter how much we police it, no matter how much we try and erase it, it's going to happen.
And it should happen. To some extent.
To some extent. But anyway, so my daughter comes home and she's like, Dad, guess what we were told today?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, what's that, Gabby? She goes, if somebody's bullying me, I have to put my hand like this and go, stop, I don't like it.
I will bully you for
and
that.
I'm like,
I will like literally start bullying you.
I looked at her, I said, wait, what? She goes, no, and this is what came down from the principal.
Yeah.
Parklands Christian College. Stop, I don't like it. And so she did it a second time and I went, stop right now, thank you very much. And I said, is that really how they are telling you now to stop bullying? She goes, yep. I said, that is the most weak, pathetic, I have no words.
Yeah.
Stop, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Oh, you think about, it's like that stupid premier in Victoria.
Jacinta Allen.
We've got machete drop boxes. Just bring your machetes here safely. Yeah.
That's the stupid bull poop.
Common sense.
That comes out of our leadership. A freaking what you call them, guys chopping each other up with machetes. Can you kindly, sir, please? We don't want to bully you, obviously. Can you, if it by any chance it is relevant or suitable to your needs, at some time during your day, obviously very busy, understand it. If you can please swing by one of the many $400,000 beans that we bought, obviously very secure, just so you're aware that your machetes will be safe, and just plop it in there for us. We will love that.
Yeah.
And we might even thank you very much.
But again, it goes...
Even if there's blood on it,
but it goes down to the fact that this is the difference between Labor or leftists and conservatives.
Yes.
Okay. The left-hand side of the aisle has always been soft on crime.
Yeah.
What she did was simply, dear criminal, can you please stop chopping people and just put your box... Just come and... Yeah, it's not nice. We don't like... Stop! We don't like it.
What is wrong with you, man? That is freaking aggression is happening. And your solution is, come on, man, just put it in the box. I mean, we've tried like 3
let's go down to a protest in Melbourne, right, where there's no criminal activity, and just go, stop! I don't like it.
Australia says no, please.
Australia says no. It's like, what machinations are going through the minds of these people to get them to a point of, let's tell the criminals, stop, we don't like it.
I have a question for Jacinta Allen. Jacinta, why are you so weak? You're a weakling. You are so weak.
That's a statement, not a question.
It's a question.
No, you said you're a weakling. That's a statement.
Oh, well, it seems to me like you're a weakling. Are you? Because you make a lot of weak comments, a lot of weak moves, a lot of weak-ass ideas that you have that seems to do absolutely nothing but drive your state further into debt and stupidity and insanity.
It is the leftist. It is leftist ideology.
It's the way. It's the leftist way.
In the United States of America, you hear these lefties, right?
Yeah.
And I shake my head and I just laugh because they have these things like, we've all heard of defund the police, right?
Yes.
And was it Lori Lightfoot, the ex-mayor of Chicago, I believe it was, and she was literally saying that we need to put more social practitioners at the scenes of criminal events. So instead of calling 911 for a policeman, it's like 911. Yeah, can I please speak to a sociologist? I'm about to commit a crime. That's literally
makes sense.
And it was,
and this is where I'm just so in line with Trump. If those homies...
Oh, you went there.
If those homies have decided in their life that what they're going to do in one morning that they wake up is going to commit a crime, and you get a hold of them, you should lock them up, throw the key away, or send them to a third world country where they can learn what it truly means to be a contributing member of the society. Chopping up rocks all day, because they cannot be a contributing member of the society.
You just actually... What you just did then is you said the kryptonite to a leftist right now. You said Trump. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
You are going to get people Trump. You watch the comments right now. You watch your comments right now. They are going to go absolutely ballistic.
Trump.
Because you're
not my fault.
You're a black conservative that loves Trump. You are literally enemy to everybody.
I think he's phenomenal. Like, honestly, I was saying it day one and people were telling him to shut. You know my LinkedIn, I had this LinkedIn thing that blew up. And one of the questions that, comments everywhere was, do you align yourself with Trump? I need to answer that now. I think I ignored it at the time. Yes. Yes, I do. What are you going to do about it? Get off my channel if you don't like it.
It's funny because you see, black people that love Trump, and the response from white liberals is like, they literally have no words. It's like their brain has gone into overdrive. Steam's coming out of their ears because you've just smashed their entire ideology.
Yeah, their world is ended. Okay, let's move back to the whole our government, the state of our nation, the problems we're having. So we have this thing where I was saying, I'm drawing a parallel to say a government that will try and to kind of wrap that whole part of that, how bad that is, the whole let's control your children's ability to access our internet unless there's an ID information put in there, which we've just explained in painful terms that is just a methodology to exact the same kind of control that is very much verging towards if you say something, they will label it dangerous and then you can be arrested, because apparently just talking now or writing or saying something that you don't agree with is dangerous and is the exact same as chopping somebody's head off. Well, that's where we've gone.
It is. It is very Orwellian, because you look in the UK, for example, and people are actually getting arrested for Facebook posts.
Insane. And by the way, we're next. That's about to happen.
There was a gentleman, I believe it was in Sussex, I might be mistaken. He received an 18-month jail sentence for posting something where the judge admitted that it didn't directly incite any violence, but the indirect implication on people who read his post would incentivize them to commit acts that were considered criminal. He got 18 months.
Wow.
18 months jail for a Facebook post, and yet a Muslim who slashed two people was released on bail and charges dropped.
So this is not a hate on the Muslims, by the way.
No, it's not. It's just calling a spade a spade.
Yeah. The thing is, my point was, we are fast heading there because that's the kind of control they're trying to exact.
Totalitarianism.
Right here. Communism at its finest. Right? Totalitarianism. Did I ever say that right?
Yeah, totalitarianism.
What a mouthful.
Totalitarianism.
Anyway. So, okay. So that's one thing.
Big word.
Huge word. And clearly, ESL, English, not my first language. I'm black. What'd you just say to me?
I was just talking Spanish.
So you do that too. You speak Spanish. Makes sense. You are married to an
Salvadorian Mexican.
That makes sense. So she taught you some things.
Oh, I'm fluent.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm fluent.
Well done.
Yeah.
Is that how you wooed her?
No.
Oh.
I actually said to her, have you got a boyfriend? No. Do you want one? That was it.
She's
like,
maybe?
No, she was like, Jess. And I'm thinking, who's Jess? Your name's Carolina.
But you just said no. You don't have a boyfriend.
No. So I said, do you want one? She goes, Jess. And so the rest is history. Stole a rose from her too. You remember those guys that used to go around with buckets with the roses?
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't be bothered paying $5 for it. So when he wasn't looking, I just took it out of the bucket and she turned around here.
Oh.
And he was like looking at me and said, what do you want? He just...
So I am very tempted to make a Mexican thieving joke right now, but I won't because he might be labelled racist.
Do it.
And it could be taken down. No, let's move on. Let's go back to our political comment. Okay, so that's bad enough, and they're exerting control over the wrong things. And by the way, when it comes to the action point, the empowerment piece, I actually do believe people should fundamentally be standing up and saying, absolutely not. I don't care if it's passed. I don't care if the bill has gone through. This is fundamentally wrong. You're not a parent. You don't belong in our homes. As the sneaky rubbish you're trying to do to get this through, it cannot happen. We should be doing that. You do that by going to go talk to your local members, writing letters, bombarding Canberra, I didn't say bombing Canberra, by the way. I said bombarding, as in with letters. Jeez, I'm not advocating for aggression.
Going to call you Madonna in a second there. Right?
I did advocate for slight bullying,
I think also you got to look at the financial consequences of this.
Yeah.
When you've got a government that is going to stipulate that you need to have an identification to access even Google.
Yeah.
I mean, we've already heard. I don't know if you heard. But Google, Microsoft, and I can't remember the other one.
Yeah.
They were called to the Australian Senate, and they didn't even go.
Yeah, good.
You know, Google and Microsoft are literally right now actively discussing whether or not they're going to remain operative in Australia.
Yeah, wow.
So, you know, conceivably, we could lose YouTube.
Yeah.
We could use Google. We could lose, you know, we could lose
Do
Facebook.
people know this? Do people know this?
Well, no, that's the problem with Australians. We become so blasé and so comfortable.
Yeah.
Just yesterday, I was having a chat with a young lady, and she goes, you know what, as long as it doesn't affect me, I don't care. I said, and that's the opinion
problem.
that gets us to where we're at.
Yeah.
I said, you have to care.
Yeah.
You have to care.
That's what
This is your country as much as it is mine.
Yeah.
You may disagree with me politically,
Yeah.
but you've got to care.
Yeah.
And when people tell me they hate me, I respect that.
Yeah.
No, I do. I respect it. If someone doesn't like me and they tell me, they have my respect.
Yeah.
Because they've told me.
Yes.
But it's when they're indifferent and don't care, that's when I get my back up.
Yeah, or the passivity of it.
Right, stand for something.
Yeah.
Or fall for anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? And so this, I don't think Albo has thought this through. I don't think Albo has thought anything. I don't think Albo thinks.
So, tangent. Okay, so okay.
I'm trying to think of the time where he did think.
We're fast running out of time, so it's like
We are.
there's so much that we could probably go through. There's the housing crisis,
I'm going to do part 2.
and yeah, maybe. I mean, to be fair, and we could disagree on something. Like you said to me quite a few times, I disagree on that, and that's fine. There are things I disagree on.
Yeah, but you'd be
that's
wrong.
also fine.
But
yeah,
you'd
that's
be wrong.
Yeah, see, that's how alpha male for you. They just go, yeah, but you be wrong. Yeah. So would you?
Just
but you know what? One of the things I definitely do, I honor about you, certainly is to be you've lived 5 decades. I've merely lived 3.
Make me feel old.
It's fine. And certainly there's a level of wisdom and insight that you've been able to gather just by virtue of being alive and experiencing the world the way you have. And so I'm very grateful that you're able to even turn up on this and have this conversation with me.
I'm grateful that you actually reached out to me, because this is it's a step. It's like, I mean, like I said, I'm going to use you as a step up right now. No, just joking. No, because
was that a slavery thing?
Yeah, it was Slay Queen. So no. Because the thing is, like all jokes aside, you know, you've got a platform, you got a voice, I've got a voice, and I would encourage anybody, that has a passion and a love for not just the country, but just for the truth of the country.
Yeah.
Because I know we're winding up, but one thing I'll say is truth has been lost in emotion.
Yeah.
People have become more emotional than they have been truthful.
Yeah.
Revisionist history is happening quicker every day we live. Like our young generation is growing up with a revised history that simply isn't true. and
then what they're supposed to teach them in school so they can actually do life better, they simply don't. They avoid it like it's a plague, and instead they infuse things into our schools like, what do you call it? The smart school program. The school something when they... what the heck? And then they try to coerce children into ideologies.
Did you see that thing that was released 3 or 4 days ago?
Yeah.
The government did a study, and they found that students who have personal tutors are 2 years ahead academically than those in the public system.
Yeah.
Right? And so what does the government do? We need to regulate that.
Of course.
Instead of saying, wow, we should take their lead and look at what they're doing to make our country smarter, no, we can't have smart students running around.
Yeah, I think they're so good at just focusing on the wrong things consistently. I mean, it's like the whole housing crisis thing, right? They just absolutely decide to focus on the absolute... briefly, we are winding up, but like, give me your 2-3 minutes take on that.
It's disgusting. Any government of any country, their first and foremost objective is to look after its citizens.
Yeah.
And look after the veterans, more importantly. If there is a price gouging problem, if there is a problem with realtors, making their prices absorbent and basically defrauding, the valuations of properties, you're going to push people out of the market.
Yeah.
And government should clamp down on that.
Yep.
Just what I would say, number one thing with Australia with the housing crisis is stop all foreign investment. New Zealand did it.
Yep.
It's now illegal. If you're a foreigner, you cannot buy a new home in New Zealand. We need to do that here. We need to look after.
Because, by the way, actually, this connects nicely to an episode I did about the NDIS thing, where I was pointing out the fact that if the small mom and dad who righteously wanted to do the right thing, care for people, do it at a small to medium sized scale, invested in the national interest of our country, when they start losing their ability to own businesses, the businesses will soon get conglomerated, made corporate by overseas. Just like we see literally all of our natural resources.
Don't get me started.
All of our natural resources.
We're winding down, brother, so you can't get me started on that one because in the words of Donald Trump, Australia should be a resource superpower.
We should be one of the richest countries in the world.
We are the third most resource-rich country on the planet.
Let me explain to you how terribly sad it is. Every Australian should have free education completely, no HECS.
Like Germany.
Every Australian should be able to access free healthcare without a single item of gap payment, ever.
Yep.
Every Australian should be paying pretty much no tax. And by the way, when you hear the concept of like, oh, we're going to raise the taxes for the businesses and not the everyday person because the everyday Australian doesn't. Actually, that just remind me, what the hell, Albanese? You're now not going to charge tax for beer?
We're not winding down.
You're not charging it for like like alcohol, like one small category of alcohol because that's gonna make the average Australian happy. Are you insane?
What about the uninhabited room tax?
Oh God!
You heard about that one?
Yeah.
If you have a house and you have a spare room and nobody's living in it, he wants to tax that.
Are you insane? I don't know how many times I should say this during this, but are you insane? Why are you taxing empty rooms?
You don't need to ask Albo if he's insane. Just ask me and I'll tell you.
I mean, it started at the state level, and before you know it, they're actually starting to entertain the conversation. We literally now want to tax it. If you were a person who could save up enough to afford a house, pre the madness of LMI, by the way, which I'm going to do an episode explaining why that is so bad, the no LMI 5% deposit, it is so bad. It's categorically one of the worst decisions any government could make, because all you're doing is not fixing the problem, which the problem is supply. You're fixing demand.
Supply.
But there's no demand problem. Everybody wants a house. There's just not enough.
Yeah.
So if you do something like that, like go, we will now make it possible for even more people to be able to get a house.
Well, you get these lefties, they come on and they say things like, oh, there's no such thing as a housing crisis. There's 1.8 million free houses in Australia. And I just simply say back, well, if that is true, why is the government trying to address it?
I don't know where that nonsense comes from.
From the very beginning of this conversation, there is actual truth in just simplicity. Just ask a simple question.
There is truth in simplicity, and
there is.
There you have it, folk. I think that's where we might end it. There's a lot more to talk about, and there is a lot more that we're going to get passionate about over time. And I'll be inviting a lot more folk like Justin to come and have conversations with me and share their insights and their perspective. You know, one of the things I'd love to talk about, slightly controversial, and over time I'll be pulling politicians in, and some important folk, maybe even the bureaucrats, who I will love to talk to. But something I really want to talk about, it actually came from something you said earlier, and I've always pondered about this because it bugs me. You know how this is kind of addressing wokeism. You know how, like, when events start in Australia, and we start with the whole, you know what I'm talking about,
Welcome to country.
Welcome to country. I really want to ask an Indigenous person, is this something you agree with? Genuinely. I want to learn, because if it is, then I will happily be contributing to that. But
can I finish with something really controversial?
Sure, go for it. Because why not? This is the podcast.
I love the welcome to country for the Indigenous community. I think it's their culture, and I welcome it, and I would never disparage. That's their culture. Yeah. Much like the haka in New Zealand.
Yeah.
It's part of their culture. It's who they are as a people. Yeah. And, you know...
by the way, if you're talking about, like, when they do it...
Right, no, when they do it, yeah.
It's amazing.
But the problem, and I'll say this as much as the haka as I will as the welcome to country, there's a thing called overkill. And I've spoken to a lot of Indigenous people and Maori people when we've been discussing this just, you know, in quiet chats. And I asked a simple question. And I said, do you think that it's being used too much? And I asked this to both First Nations and Maori people. 80% say, bro, it's only supposed to be used at certain occasions.
Yeah.
Both sides, both Indigenous and Maori say, and if I'm wrong, somebody please correct me. But they told me that it's mainly used. For instance, if a family has been overseas for 5 years and they come home to New Zealand and you'll see the family's doing a haka. Right. That's beautiful. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
But in the First Nations, every single time there's an event, every single time, like it's getting to a point now where, hey, I just went to take a number 2 in the toilet. Let's do a welcome to country. You know what I mean? I know that sounds really rude, but it's becoming overbearing.
There's just something.
It's called fatigue.
Yeah, there's just something about it when I see it happening. You have all these events and they're like, well, we've got to do this first. And it's like, I mean, there's not even an Indigenous person there. It's like, are you supposed to do it? Like, can anyone just do it? Anyway, I feel like there's a whole respect thing there. But here's the thing.
Yeah, but I mean, Australia and New Zealand and rugby, mate, you do your haka because that's why you keep winning all the time.
And the first time I saw the haka, I was like, geez.
But the first time my wife saw a haka, she was like, because I played rugby union for 2 seasons. Right?
Wow.
Yeah, I wasn't always this fat. I was an outside centre.
I wasn't going to say anything, but
yeah, well, that's all right. And so we actually played a team in WA.
Yeah,
and it was a Maori team. It was an Indigenous Maori. It was a mini World Cup they had, and they did the haka, and my wife was there, and she said, "Whoa!"
Was she afraid?
Yeah.
Slightly scared.
She was like, "Were you scared?" I went, "I was pissing myself." But that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I've never seen it in person.
It is inspiring. It is
awe-inspiring. I do feel like if I ever saw it in person, I would.
It is intimidating, but at the same time,
I'll be afraid.
No, it is intimidating, and that's I think
the point, right?
That's the point.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's beautiful. Mm. It really is a beautiful thing to watch.
It's just crazy. I like at the start, somewhere through to the middle. Like at the start, I'm like, oh my God. And there's so much through the middle, I feel so manly just watching it.
But it's a great thing, and it's absolutely needed. Yeah. But to wind down and finish with this, I just think that it's becoming a bit too much in our face. It's over the top. And people are becoming fatigued. Yeah. Like if you do it too much, you become desensitized to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it loses its meaning.
It loses its meaning.
Not talking about a haka, by the way, because from my position anyway, I haven't seen it being overused.
You should see the sippy towel.
See the what?
The sippy towel.
What is that?
Oh my goodness me!
Are you starting this new game?
You uncultured swine! Oh my goodness!
Cultural swine.
Uncultured, I said.
Uncultured.
No. All the Polynesian. I've been
insulted on my own show.
No, I love you, bro. The Polynesians have, the Tongans, the Samoans, the Fijians. They've all and the Cook Islanders and of course the Maori. They've all got their dances, and I sometimes binge YouTube. And when I want to, let you into a little secret, the life of Justin. If I'm feeling down, I'll just put on hakas, First Nations, war cries, Fijians, Samoans, Tongans. And once I've got my 30 minutes of film, I'm like, yeah, I can do this. It actually does
motivate.
It's something about it that brings the testosterone out.
Yeah, I know, right?
And I look at my wife, I'm like,
I actually fully agree with that.
I'm looking at my wife after watching all those hakas, I'm like, hey, you go and love. And she's like, please no.
And she's like, Justin, you are not that cool.
I know, right?
Calm down.
I know, right? Last thing. I was in El Salvador, and the people in El Salvador had heard about, the haka. Haka is very famous around the world.
Yeah.
And they got me confused with a New Zealander. And so I'm at this soccer match.
And do you say sex instead of six?
No.
Is that the problem?
No, they say socks, we say six. So... Oh, Lawson, if you want to talk like a Kiwi, I can do that too, bro. I
don't like it.
I'd never do that again. so I'm in the stadium, and one of the guys comes up to me and goes, oh, you're from Australia? I went, yeah. Oh, can you do the haka? And I looked at him, I said, firstly, I'm white. Secondly, wrong country. He goes, yeah, and in Spanish, he goes, what do you mean? And I'm like, dude.
Say that in Spanish for me.
Well, what do you mean?
Yeah.
¿Qué significa eso?
I just wanted that to be on the podcast so that in the subtitles, the YouTube algorithm will capture it and start showing it to The El Salvadorians.
No te preocupes, si quieres yo puedo hablar español también. Vamos a hablar eso entonces.
Okay, that's enough.
So I was, I'll go back to Australia
Did you just
now.
insult me?
No. So cut a very long story short. I said to him, firstly, bro, I'm white, wrong country.
Yeah.
And he looks at me and goes, can you do it anyway? I'm like, no, that's considered wrong. you know. but you know, all jokes aside.
But like Australia is so close to New Zealand, surely.
Yeah, I know, right? That's what they think. Like, aren't you guys like, you know, like neighbours? Went, yeah, but at a distance. So it's like, you know, it's a 2.5 hour flight there. You know?
Can I say my own ending conservative?
Sure. I'll say goodbye for
thing?
now. Thank you for having me. Let you.
My own controversial thing. I think Australia and New Zealand should become one. Yeah.
They almost did.
They should.
No, they almost did back
in... But only when, like, we fix all this nonsense that's going on and then we become one.
No, we almost...
Powerful.
In 1901, when Australia was federated, New Zealand was this close to becoming part of the Australian nation, but the leaders over there decided, no, we want to maintain who we are as a people. Their
sovereignty.
No, not so much. No, it wasn't just about sovereignty. Their culture.
Right.
There was we could keep on talking. I should shut up. But there was always 5 years ago a flotation to unify the Fiji and New Zealand and the Australian dollar, right? To make it one currency.
Yeah, I mean it should.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think. I like Australia and New Zealand the way it is right now. I like the fact that we got that brotherly rivalry.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. If there was a war, we would defend each other.
Absolutely.
Straight away.
And that's one of the beautiful things about Australia and our neighbour, the Kiwians.
Kiwians, is that a word?
I just made it up. I'm allowed to.
Kiwians.
This is my show. If you don't like it, I'm kidding. You can stay.
New Zealandilians.
New Zealandilians.
New Zealandilians.
Justin.
Yes.
It's been an absolute pleasure having you.
Pleasure's all mine.
I love it. It's just been so good. It's important that we have these conversations. And like I always say, for the last show and this show, the entire aim is to be better humans.
Absolutely.
And we must talk about things that, from talking to understanding to acting, that ensures that humanity continues to sustain. And that's what this is about, and that's what you're about.
Awesome.
And
God bless you.
no matter how white you are, I forgive you. And you can come back on this show anytime.
I am absolutely proud to be white.
Well done. You should be.
Should be.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Let's end the show. Thank you for coming, for watching. We will see you on the next episode of Emeka Conversation.